good, YouTube? It's your boy 2K the God, my man Sess. Welcome to the Gods of Boxing Talk. Now this weekend we saw one of the best fights for this year, Mr. Keith Thurman versus Shawn Porter. It's number one on my list for 2016 Fight of the Year thus far. I got Orlando Salido and Francisco Vargas at number 2. But the results of this fight are very conflicting, dog. I mean, it's like it's mad cats are saying Porter won. Mad cats are saying Thurman won. I got people that I respect tremendously. I respect their boxing knowledge on both sides of the fucking spectrum. I got a cat that I respect tremendously. Like, anything that nigga says, I'm like, yeah, that might be right. Let me go validate that. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker's crying robbery. He's all over the place yelling robbery, B. You know what I'm saying? That's how close this fight was. It's literally the results that everyone has are about as 50-50 as the fight was on paper. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So for this segment, we want to kind of break down the fight, and we really, at the end, we really want to ask the question after the breakdown, who really won this fight? Now, my man Bo, he gave a pretty damn good synopsis for why he felt Thurman won the fight. And I heard the synopsis that my man Sess gave earlier for why he felt Porter won the fight. But let's put that shit on wax, man. Give it to me.
First off, let me start by saying it was an awesome fight. It was definitely what the fans deserved. And both guys came out, man, and just laid it all on the line. Word. I didn't feel that either guy really cared about getting knocked out or cared about looking bad. You know what I mean? They went out there and they just gave it their all. Yep. Now, let's get to the fight. I'll pick Keith Thurman, but in all honesty, I had Shawn Porter winning the fight. I gave him the fight by at least a round. And here's why. In my opinion, Shawn Porter controlled the pace of the fight. He fought Keith two different ways. He used his regular brawling, mauling type of a style, pin you up against the ropes, beat you down. He used that. Then he would come out sometimes and stand in front of Keith and box. Word. You know, use a jab. Ooh. You know what I mean? The jab.
And that's somebody nobody could fucking predict before this fight that Shawn Porter's gonna jump in the ring with a jab.
Absolutely. And another thing that I noticed in the fight was Shawn legitimately hurt Keith at least 2 or 3 times. He hurt Keith to the body one time. He hurt him with a very good right hand on his equilibrium, and Keith started moving back toward the ropes. Yeah. Then he had Keith on the ropes at another point in the fight, and he was just digging to the body, just boom, 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 boom. I mean, exactly,
Hell yeah.
Exactly. So, to me, man, Shawn Porter was making Keith Thurman fight a particular way in spots throughout that fight. When Keith wanted to do one thing, solely because of the attack that Shawn was implementing, Keith was forced to do something completely different. So he wasn't able to really control the pace of the fight. He wasn't really able to control the fight. Word. And that, to me, when you've got a highly competitive fight like that, when you've got two guys letting their hands go, both guys are landing bombs, because I'm not taking that from Keith. He hurt Shawn a couple times as well. But it just, in my opinion, it looked better from Shawn Porter's end. The only thing about Shawn Porter is sometimes he tends to hide his work because of his fucking style.
Smothers himself, man.
He smothers himself, and that could have been why the judges had it the way they had it. Some of Keith's shots were very evident. You could tell what Keith was letting go, when he was letting go, and how he was letting it go. With Shawn Porter, you really couldn't tell. You had to really look at what he was doing and when he was doing it and how he was doing it.
Absolutely.
But at the end of the day, man, I felt Shawn did enough. I mean, both guys put on the show. It was just, and at the end of the day, Shawn looked a little bit better doing it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree with your synopsis. I have no problem with it. I actually thought this fight could have gone either way. I have no problem with the decision. Our pre-fight breakdown and prediction, we both had Thurman winning. I can't remember if you had Thurman winning by UD, but I said I had Thurman winning by UD.
Okay.
But see, this is Thurman pissed me off, man. See, I enjoyed the fight. Don't get me wrong; it was a great fight. But there are some things that I seen Keith Thurman doing that allowed Shawn Porter to take over the middle rounds of this fight. I mean, I got my scorecard right here, but I'm gonna start from the top. So I gave the first 2 rounds to Shawn Porter. It was evident Shawn Porter was the aggressor. He was landing the shots. He was going to the body, which is one thing that after I posted our prediction video, I was pissed off that I forgot to mention that one of the keys to victory that Shawn Porter needed to do was go to the body. Why? Because Keith Thurman hates it to the body.
Man,
he don't like it, and we saw that evident in the Louis Collazo fight. Louis Collazo touched him. My man said, what is that shit? Motherfucker said like this. Yeah. Motherfucker literally ran across the ring after that shit. Yeah. And we did see that in this fight. I'll get to that in a minute. But pre-fight, that's what I wanted to mention. I was pissed off that I forgot about it. But I also was going to say in conjunction with that, is that Shawn Porter, he really doesn't have an extensive body attack. And that, you can go watch all of his previous fights. He didn't go to the body that well. I mean, he's more of a headhunter, maul you, knock you the fuck out, or try to knock you out, try to smother your defense, keep you from getting off. He's not really, looking to have a sustained body attack or even have a sustained head attack. He just comes at you, right?
Yep.
In this fucking fight, it was evident that he was throwing shots to the body early in the fight. He had him against the ropes the first 2 rounds. He was throwing shots to the body in the clinch. He was hitting him in the side and the liver. He was trying to get in kidney shots. My man was even beating up his back. I was telling my man Ace, and one of the clinches, they clinched, and Shawn Porter's like, in his back and shit. I'm like, they beating the shit out of that nigga back. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was hitting him everywhere he could in the midsection area. And I think that the reason why he employed that is because he knew Thurman don't like it to the body.
Yep.
Now, I gave the next 3 rounds 3, 4, and 5 to Thurman. Now, in the first 2 rounds, Thurman was doing the right game plan. He was just allowing Shawn Porter to maul him and land clean shots. But he continued with the same game plan, and it was the game plan that we said he needed to do to win in our pre-fight video, right? We said Thurman needs to use lateral movement, right? He needs to catch Shawn Porter while he's coming in. Particularly, we said he needs to catch him with that uppercut, which, even though Thurman wasn't very successful with the uppercut, I seen that shit all night long, open all night long. One thing I did notice, he was throwing that shit from too far out of range.
Yes.
He would throw that bitch like that. He would miss by a mile. And my man Ace was like, oh, he needs more range. I'm like, no, he doesn't. He needs to wait for Shawn Porter to get closer to him that way. Because when Shawn is mauling, he's mauling like this with his head down, and all this is open. He did it numerous times in this fight. So he needed to wait for Shawn to get closer while he's like this. Unleash that uppercut while you're in a compact position and you're close up, because you're going to use more power from your legs. And your shot is gonna have more. Your punch is gonna have more of a power, kick to it. Whereas you're just using more arm when you're out of range like that. So, but what he did find successful for him and catching Shawn Porter was the left hook, the check left hook. He also caught him at the end of the fight with fucking right hook. That right hook was ridiculous towards the end of the fight. But yeah, 3, 4, and 5, he did well catching Shawn Porter in. He dictated the pace of the fight, so I gave him those 3 rounds, and he was up by 1 point. Now, rounds 6, 7, 8, and 9 is when Keith Thurman did exactly what he shouldn't have done, and he did exactly what I said Shawn Porter needs to make Keith Thurman do in our pre-fight prediction. I said, in order for Shawn Porter to win this fight, he needs to make it a dog fight, right? He needs to maul him, and he needs to make Thurman a planter. When I say make him a planter, I mean make him want to slug with you. Make him want to stop moving and just unload shots. that's what Keith Thurman does. And I also said Keith Thurman doesn't like to move. He can move, but he doesn't like to do it, and it was evident in this fight. That's why he stopped moving in rounds 6, 7, 8, and 9. He stopped moving. That's when the fight became the fight of the year, pretty much, because he said, fuck it, I'm going to start slugging. When he was slugging, that's when Shawn Porter started to show two different sides of him. He showed a boxing Shawn Porter that was moving in behind a jab, and then he would switch it up in the same round and begin to maul Keith Thurman. He completely controlled the middle rounds. He had Keith Thurman on his back foot. You know what I'm saying? Thurman had no idea what to do. That's why he said, fuck it, I'm just going to swing with this motherfucker. And Porter took over those rounds because of that. And then rounds 10, 11, and 12, Keith Thurman went back to what he needed to do from rounds 3, 4, and 5 that made him, that got him the success in those rounds. He went back to using lateral movement. He went back to waiting and catching Shawn Porter as he was coming in. Rounds 9, 10, and 11, I think we seen Shawn Porter get hit by about 6 or 7 clean, hard-ass right hooks right down the pipe. The motherfucker would come in, it was like, just like that. And it was repetitive. So just by that alone, and Shawn Porter had his moments in those rounds, don't get me wrong, those are swing rounds. You know what I'm saying? But just by the hard shots that Thurman was landing, and he was dictating the pace. Also, Shawn Porter looked tired for the first time in his career in those later rounds 9, 10, 11, and 12. I'm sorry, 10, 11, and 12. He looked very tired in those rounds. And it could have been a testament to the fact that after the fight, he went to the hospital due to dehydration, which my man Sess called out. Like a month before the fight, he said Porter possibly overtrained, and that's what it looks like what happened here. Could have been that, or it's just the fact that a lot of the power shots that Thurman was landing on him wore him down. Either, whatever the case was, by that point, by round, I think 10, I had Shawn Porter winning by 2 rounds, going into the 11th round. And I had given Thurman rounds 10, 11, and 12. That's what made the fight a draw on my card. I don't think either person, for the decision, I don't think either person should have won clearly. But I have no problem with Porter winning by a round. And I absolutely have no problem with what the decision ultimately was. And that's Thurman winning by a round. Bottom line, if Thurman, who has been calling out Danny Garcia now, he's basically saying, I'll gloss over this, fuck pay-per-view. I want the fight on network television so everybody can see me expose this motherfucker, right? If that fight can't get made, let's get this rematch. I want a rerun.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely agree, man. Let's get this rematch. If that fight can be made, I would love to see Thurman versus Garcia. I started out a Danny Garcia fan way back when he was fighting Kendall Holt and cats like that. But what I've seen from him now, what I'm seeing from him now, it's just fucking ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? It's sickening. You know? And I would definitely love somebody as competitive as a Keith Thurman and somebody that doesn't care who he fights. I would love for him to take that belt from Danny. And I'm gonna be real, I would like for him to knock Danny out. You know, I'm tired of Danny. You know, I don't like what he's doing right now. He's like a fake imitation version of Floyd. You know, it's like he's trying to beat his businessman, and his dad is backing it, and it's just a bunch of bullshit.
That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video, and we've actually already covered that. Me and Sess actually took the interview with Angel Garcia, basically admitting to cherry picking. You know what I'm saying? And put this shit on wax. So it is what it is. All right, you two, who really won this fight? The answer is the shit could have gone either way. Word life. Do what you do in the comment section and be real. This is real talk for real fans.